The Sonic Crossbow, the first weapon that I'm covering that can only be obtained on 5-cell mode. Is it as powerful as its endgame status would suggest? Well, I can tell you right now, no, not really. Its entire gimmick is based around piercing through enemies. You don't need any sort of affix for this. It just automatically pierces through whatever you're hitting, and it can even do critical damage while doing that. Critical damage that is the same as its base damage. So, yeah. And its base damage is nothing very impressive to start with. It's only slightly more than like a magic missile, and it's, I think, might even be slightly less than the very similar type of weapon, the repeater crossbows, which makes it seem like, why would you bother taking this? Well, it is very cool. It does have a very cool style to it with the whole kind of like laser rifle aesthetics that it's got going on, but as far as an actual weapon, it's not really the incredible powerhouse that you would expect for one that's so ridiculously difficult to get. You need to get through the entire game, not only just into 5-cell mode, into the secret 5-cell area, but also you need to go through something of a little puzzle area with a lot of very tough platforming, too. To get this. Well, I don't really know exactly how I'm going to end up using this in a run. Certainly, I'd say that this is definitely one to take quickly, because grouping up enemies into one small area and then piercing right through them, potentially for extra damage if I do happen to have that critical hits plus 20%. But aside from that, I guess it's just going to be more or less a traditional type of tactics run in 5-cell mode. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do the Sonic Crossbow was because I've already done bow and infinite arrows, I've already done repeater crossbow, as I was talking about before. Even already done stuff like the quick bow. Everything for your regular types of, you know, your basic point and shooty type of weapons with tactics are kind of done now. So we're sort of into the weirder and not as good ones. And I was saying earlier too that if I was really going to be taking something, a weapon in this style, you know, something that's very spammable and also very laser-like, I would probably end up taking Magic Missile over this every single time. Because crossbows, as always, don't really do much aside from shoot straight forward, whereas Magic Missile can shoot directly upwards. Sure, the Magic Missile might be lacking the critical, but the critical doesn't actually do much of anything for you. And really, it's like, well, this weapon is not really deserving of being a 5-cell only. I guess I can kind of understand what Motion Twin was going for, because, hey, what are you going to do for gimmickry at this point in time? But it's just, at least give me a super high base damage or something like that. Oh, well, I guess the plan is going to be try to get some of the best. Oh, that might not be too bad. Maybe Ripper type of build? Yeah, that could work too. Ammo is also going to be kind of an issue because, well, unlike Magic Missile, this does in fact use ammo, and you run out of it pretty quickly because you shoot so quickly. Yes, hence the word quickly being used twice there. All right. Yeah, I guess it's just going to be try to get as good of turrets as possible, and I don't know. One of the other big problems when it comes to using this weapon is that it is something that is more or less geared towards towards fighting regular enemies. The piercing through enemies is not really going to be very useful when it comes to bosses because, well, bosses don't really have secondary enemies in there, and so getting a critical is not really something possible most of the time. I guess I can maybe make it work when I'm going up against the conjunctivious tentacles, which, oh boy, I mean, with the inability to shoot upwards to have my bow track on anything very well, I don't think that's going to be a good idea in any way. But also, maybe the giant. Yeah, actually, piercing would probably be pretty good against the giant compared to any of the other bosses that I'm going to be fighting, just because I can pierce through the hand and hit the eye. I can pierce through the eyeball to hit the hand on the other side, keeping the giant more or less stun locked through the entire fight. Yeah, at least that's the working theory that I'm going on. And since I did say last time that I was going to hit up the sewers, you know, try to go for the less traditional route, let's do that, but maybe bail out before I hit the conjunctivius. Networking? I mean, piercing certainly seems like could be good. That, Ripper, double ammo, switch out to a little bit of disengagement later. I guess that's going to be the run. I don't know. Giant, though, I think is going to be pretty good. Not that Giant is very difficult to fight if you have a good turret build already. Turrets, you know, just automatically... Oh my god, that was so close. Turrets already, you know, automatically hitting the hands pretty much constantly does mean that you can keep the Giant stun locked already. This is just going to help out a little bit even on top of that. Oh, I gotta tell you, I'm kind of struggling to come up with good stuff here. I guess really it's just going to be about, you know, gotta go fast. Gotta live that Sonic lifestyle. Sure, the actual, like, Sonic in the name, I'm pretty sure is supposed to be more of a Sonic speed of the weapons. Not supposed to be referring to yourself, but hey, like I said, you group up enemies, you can take them out pretty easily, at least in theory. So, yeah. I had people telling me last time, it's like, hey, stop going so fast. As soon as you get to the final areas, you start playing like garbage, doing terribly, and pretty much nearly lose the run, even in the points that you just barely managing to pull out a win most of the time. And I gotta tell you, it's like, yeah, but that's the best way to play Dead Cells. Dead Cells is a game that really excels when you go in fast. I also think that it's, you know, especially true when you're going for tactics, just because, oh boy, I do not want to stay next to enemies. Gotta outrange enemies as much as you possibly can. In other words, nobody gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna hold me down. That's the way you play Dead Cells. Oh no, I've got to keep on moving, and I'm not gonna stop. More tactics, more tactics. If I can get to heavy damage off of even small hits, then the whole arrow count issue that I was talking about is not going to matter at all. I'm going to end up taking I like what I've got working right now for heavy turret and tornado. Really, I just want to get some form of poison or bleed or whatever. Not only just because, well, that's almost always useful for the synergies, it's also... I feel like most of the times that I've used a Sonic Crossbow and I have had the most successful runs are when I have the on-hit releases a Toxic Cloud affix. I don't think it's any more common than it is for anything else when it comes to tactics, but man, something like that would just be great for, you know, I'm saying it right now, it would be great for buffing up the turrets that I'm going to be using that are going to be taking over for the, yeah, sure, 75% damage reduction is going to be good, that are going to be taking over for the whole Sonic Crossbow showcase part of the run, as what happens in a lot of weapons that I use in a lot of ways. Well, hey, at least with the other weapons that are 5-cell mode only, they are a lot more powerful. Though the shield has been maybe nerfed quite a bit since its first introduction, it's still got some cool stuff going on with it. And then the other two weapons are, well, maybe some of the best you can get. One of them so powerful that I don't even have it turned on for these runs, lest it appears and completely takes over for everything. Also the easiest one to get on 5-cell mode, as it does not require a Hunter's Grenade or shenanigans to make happen. Oh, well. You know, I was saying with... Ooh, nice. Well, this is a lot riskier on tactics, though. Do gotta remember that. It is, you know, I think more than anything else, it is frustrating to know that this is just not really a boss-killing weapon, and you need boss-killing weapons when it comes to tactics runs, just because Tactics, the most likely time that you're going to get hit is going up against a boss. You're in a small room. You can only deal so much damage to them at a time. You can't really... Whereas, like, regular enemies, you can blitz down so quickly, whether it's using a... I don't even know what I was trying there, or there. Well, that was just bad play. Yeah, you can blitz down regular enemies so trivially. Even, like, elites, mini-bosses, which I guess are the same as elites. Also, they took out, like, the dual tracker fight. The castle enemies, I guess. I guess is kind of what I'm referring to. They're all very easy to take care of in the normal course of a tactics run, so... The fact that this one is... This weapon is explicitly weaker against bosses is just... it's frustrating. It's frustrating because that's the one thing where I really need to come through. I say that a lot when it comes to Dead Cells, that you are building more for bosses than anything else. Regular enemies, sure, might occasionally be the sticky wicket, but... I'd like to say that... You know, you're usually not worried about dying to regular enemies, except when you have curses or the librarians. So that's another thing that's kind of frustrating about this. Maybe maybe that's something to think about for the future. It's like, hey, you got this cool future weapon, whatever. It also has the same abilities as the Giant Killer, for example. It does extra damage against bosses. And then there's your ranged equivalent of that for tactics runs. Because that sort of thing doesn't exist with that due to the fact that it is, well, a survival brutality scaling. I mean, the idea that the master of the 5-cell area, I'm being very vague right now, as I have been for a lot of this episode, would have something explicitly to take out the more powerful dudes in the game in the form of the Sonic Crossbow, I think would only make sense. Yeah? I don't know. Oh, also, yes, I am wearing the Hyper Light Drifter's costume explicitly because, you know, cool future weapons. That's a very much in line. Of course, I think usually it would be more the, like, green shots? What were the colors of the... Wasn't it all like purple, you know, light laser weaponry in that game? Maybe not quite the same thing, but at least it's kind of... I'd like to say that in spirit, it is thematically appropriate. I mean, either way, I haven't really shown off this outfit too much. And also, speaking of which, when is Solar Ash Kingdom coming out? I feel like I should be maybe paying attention to that a little bit more, considering how much I like the original Hyper Light Drifter, but kind of fallen by the wayside in my purview. I'll go look that up eventually. All right. In the meantime, I think Corrupted Prison and then pivot into doing the Ramparts, unless I suddenly get something that makes me much more confident in my ability to beat up the Conjunctivius. Somehow I have my doubts. Though with the... I could have probably just justified going immediately into the Ramparts right now, knowing that I did get that extra stat through the Challenge Rift. Well... Doesn't matter now. Ammo... I'm thinking ammo, or I want to get the Ripper. But I don't really have... Ripper's really not very good. But... It's like, what else am I using, you know? Let's go for ammo right now, and then switch into Ripper after that. Hard to say if I'm getting too much usage out of the networking. Not that I think that the extra damage really matters all that much, but... nope. Nope, not at all. Not that I think the extra damage really matters all that much when it comes to the thing. It's just more that it's appropriate for the weapon than anything else. Alright, let's not die to a curse here. The inability to shoot directly upwards does make a bit of a difference when using this weapon. Because... What can I say? I use the magic missile as kind of like the basis for by which all other tactics weaponry is judged. I think it's a fair thing considering how good it is. Oh, well. Hey, Tornado and... Oh, boy. Tornado and the heavy turret, though, is working out quite well for me right now. Because it is taking out enemies that I'm not really able to hit with the weapon due to the many attacks that I am suffering. Oh, well. And this is always the area that... This is always the area where I usually put my money where my mouth is as far as nobody breaking my stride goes, so let's just make this thing happen. Ain't no hammers in this part, so yeah. Wolf trap, etc., whatever. No, I want some of... I just need some of that... Good. I just need some of that poison synergy. Oh, I see a legendary weapon. Not that I think that the colorless weapon's not too important when it comes to this run, but a legendary weapon is more likely, and by more likely, I mean always has some sort of special affix on it that could be the poison that I'm looking for. Oh, also this one not only works in this build, it's also something that I already have. Extra stats too, even though I do want more. Main hand stats, cool! I'm very happy about this. Anyway, oh god. And I didn't even get the turret in the place that I wanted it to be. Okay. Are you kidding me? This is some nonsense. Oh, well, at least in the next area, I am going to have a food shop. By hook or by crook, it's going to happen. Get out of here, you. Oh, come on. I want to go get that... Because this is it's very likely that I'll be able to get, like, Release Toxic Cloud or just straight up poisons enemies on this tornado. And that's the sort of thing that will turn this from a good run. It hasn't been all that good of a run. Oh, yeah, I can... Huh. I forgot that I can do 2 of these at once. Just because I can. I don't know, I think it also, you know, purple and yellow are also complementary colors, which means that they just look nice next to each other. I just want to see. No. No. So, hey, I mean, it also adds like a level of aesthetic? Yes, aesthetic pleasingness to it in the way that I'm not taking 2 different items. Let's go. Ramparts, absolutely, especially after I got just destroyed by that electric whip going through there. That one is rough, but... I mean, what can I say? What do I even want to do? Maybe go Alienation. Give me a lot of extra healing. Maybe just go Necromancy. You know I was saying Ripper, but it's like, come on. Maybe I'll also try to re-roll the Tornado soon enough, too. Legendary items have lower re-roll costs and all that. So, yeah. Maybe I'll call this the... maybe this will end up being the Tornado and Sonic Crossbow showcase. 2 very disparate weapons, but hey, they're together once again. To do something, certainly. Alright, food shop. And hey, it has been a while since I've gotten to the Rampart, so I think I am still making good on my promise to have a new, funky, fresh type of run, the likes of which you haven't seen in quite some time. Even though I suppose I was fighting the giant and everything in the last run that I did, but ignore that. Okay. Oh, I need more tactics, come on. I guess I should probably just be stacking into as much survival as I possibly can if I'm going to be using a little bit of off-statting necromancy. I mean, hey, it's still a good way to get rid of a lot of malaise. It's a good way to heal up just because the amount of enemies you're going to be killing. It's just... yeah. Caltrops would have also been a good option too. But I think that this'll do for now. I'll switch into disengagement a little bit later on, and... I don't know, man. We'll see. It is more damage. Can't say it's not. Oh, man. I knew this was going to be kind of a rough run, but hey, if you're going to be doing everything, that includes the slightly less than optimal weapons as well. Okay, and make sure that I don't get hit by that sweeper. Yes, that'll work out just fine. Good, good. No more colorless items in this area, I believe. So, aside from just getting maybe a chunk of watermelon, I'm thinking that the best option for myself here is to just spend money trying to re-roll and getting the freshest, shiniest Sonic Crossbow that I possibly can. I don't really see anything else that's... Oh boy, the sweeper. I don't really see any other really good option right now. Besides, I like the... Are you kidding me? Okay. Did stun it for even just a brief amount of time, which is all I needed. Okay. A lot of range attacks are taken out by those. Of course, it's nothing. A lot of range attacks are taken out by those tornadoes, so that is going to be nice. They do block all projectiles. And we're currently looking at about 15, which is not great. I want to be hitting like 20 when I get to the third area, whatever that might be. Doesn't seem likely to be happening right now, though. Tornado also a bit of a blessing and a curse in the way that it pushes enemies around, but it's doing more than enough damage to be worth it. As you can see, I'm already nearly back up at full health. Just killing everything so fast. Oh my god, there's so much going on here. But hey, the piercing through enemies, I told you that would be useful, and it certainly is. It's just, I don't know, would I trade this for anything else? Yes. I think that there are much better options. It's just too bad. You know, I said before, I'll say again. Would really just like to... Okay. Would really just like to... see this weapon be super good. It's a very cool weapon. It just... Yeah. Well, I should take the 75% damage reduction. Just doesn't stack up. Okay, okay. Glad there's a lot of biters in here. A lot more than I remember, to be honest. It only works out in my favor, though, after all. All right, 66,000. That should be enough to get to one of the shops and re-roll it for something. I'm still holding up for that either poisons target or releases a toxic cloud on hit, which is going to be the most optimal thing that I can get, especially in the upcoming area. And if I get nothing, I will just save up my money for re-rolling that turret. Making sure that I have something good going on there. Because that's going to be... That, especially in the later parts of the game, is going to be something that can be extraordinarily powerful, especially going up against, God, the Giant, the Hand of the King, and even the 5-cell boss. They all have their own projectiles that they love spamming at all points in time. Okay, I guess the Breach, I don't know if the Breach is any better for using this weapon, but... Maybe it's just because of the critical. Maybe it's because I just have some confirmation bias. That's how confirmation bias works, right? I would look that up, but I'm kind of playing a video game. Okay, I'll add it in afterwards. I'll add it in post if I was wrong about that. 17. Good, good. That challenge rift is going to help out a lot, so is just going into the corrupted confinement entirely. It's just, oh, that actually worked out okay. Worked out a little bit better than I expected it to. Really thought I was going to get hit there by that sweeper. Good. What you got? I do want to check out the shops, of which there's only one. Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm so used to there being... like 2 shops in the ramparts, but yeah, it's only got 1 now because I guess it is the easier area or something. You know what? If I don't have to fight that elite, I'm not going to. I like to pick and choose my battles as it is, and this would definitely be the time to do that. Well, as long as I get perfect in the next fight, I will be able to fully heal up the malaise, and that's all I really want. Great. Could not care any less about the things that are on offer here. And there's nothing even over here. I think that that's normally where what? Curse chest would be, but yeah, not really a thing anymore. Okay. Yeah, necromancy still working out pretty well, even despite the hits that I've been taking and everything like that. Okay, fine, let's just go. And one more should do it. There you go. See? That was actually a good idea, as it turns out. Didn't see that myself. Didn't see that coming myself, but I'll take whatever sort of advantage that I can possibly get. 18 is not quite the 20 that I was looking for, but it is pretty close. All right. I think I would also maybe, now that I'm not really building for a Ripper-based build, not that Ripper-based builds are something that you usually build for anyway, that I might just end up going for a shield instead. Something like the parry shield, I think, can be pretty useful. Make sure that I get the arrows back a lot easier, as well as give me a little bit more defensive options. Especially later in the game, if I'm really going to be grouping up enemies like I've been doing up until this point. Yeah, here, I got 76,000. What you got? Nope. No. There you go. That's actually very good. That's actually exactly what I wanted. Like, it could not be better. Game. Now you're just making fun of me. Oh, my God. The absurdity going on here is manifold. Okay. Well, I should at least be fine against the concierge. What sort of sick sense of humor is that? Okay. Yeah, I guess this is all going to be a tornado showcase now, isn't it? I don't know if I can stop it at this point in time. Now, if only I could get the 100% on poison that I really need to make this run start popping off. Okay. There we are. Come on, legendary item. Because, you know, hey, if I'm getting that sort of re-rolls with legendary items right now, I can only imagine what it's going to be like in the future. For the next item, if I even want to take it, that is, I guess. This would also be like good Hokuto's bow type territory, but obviously not turned on right now. Of course. I'm glad that they took out the whole first phase thing. It makes it so that it's a lot less likely for the concierge to be pushing you into walls with his shenanigans. Which is always a very frustrating way to take damage prior to that update. Okay. Ooh, don't get locked in place. There is just a little bit of delay when you're using the weapon that is bad. And also, God, just look at the difference between using the, say, the stiletto versus the sonic crossbow. I mean, if there is any better way to kind of show that it's not great, it's like I don't know what it is. Oh, come on! I just want to try to get my little bit of melee attacking in on there before I completely lose the ability to get my synergy on. Okay. And that'll do it. Okay, good, good, good. A little bit nervous there for a second, but it did turn out just fine anyway. Oh, well, there. I mean, I did say that's what I wanted now, didn't I? All right. Back up to 18. Might also want to re-roll it, but I don't know. There's so many options available before myself, and I kind of question. Oh man, that's quite disappointed. But I don't really know what I want to do with it. Just give me the tactics. Come on, you know that's what I'm looking for. Why are you making re-rolling so hard? Well, this is sort of an all-over-the-place run, but it's working out mostly pretty well. I should probably also switch out the second turret that the second tornado. The second turret NATO that I have for something a little bit more powerful. Because this is very low level right now. The legendary version's alright, and is obviously going to be an integral part of getting a lot of synergies on. But the second one that I have is only like a level, it's a Tornado 4. Not the most impressive thing that I can possibly have at this part of the game. I was gonna say at this point in time, and then I stopped myself. But trying to get rid of vocal tics, I'm telling you. Still happening. It's just a little bit more in the background, so I know I've been talking about it too much lately. All right. What do you got? Yeah, sure. Power Scroll, not a legendary item, which is what I was going to say. This is what I was kind of hoping it was. Because, I mean, the legendary items have been pretty good to me so far. Really, I just want to try to get a upgrade to my Sonic Crossbow, though. And I think that's going to be kind of the most important thing that I can do right now. I'm gonna wait until I can get something a little bit more stat relevant. Certainly I can. Is that two? Wow, two enemies like that at once. Flawless is interesting, but no. 2 star enemies right next to each other. 3 of them so far in this area. This is some weird luck. This is a rare run. One that you don't see. One that comes about once in a blue moon. Alright, what else we got? Also, I feel like a lot more knife throwers, but maybe I'm just noticing that for the first time. Okay. Alright, and get every enemy grouped up and then just get them in there, I guess. I mean, that was the plan at the very start of the run. It's still working out pretty well. So at least it lends itself well to that style of play that I usually deploy. Now, you do got to ask yourself, is that really a good thing? But I say yes, because it benefits me. Good, good. Come on, Sonic Crossbow. Also, I gotta say, missed opportunity not coloring the Sonic Crossbow red and blue. I mean, come on, it's right there in the name. Of course, it has very little to do with Mr. Sonic T. Hedgehog. You know, I could have also used the Independence Day outfit. I don't remember what exactly it's called. It's the French flag colors, which is why it would also be very relevant, being the exact same as Sonic, due to France's legendary love of Mr. Needlemouse. But yeah, I mean, it's like, I guess, you know, in some ways, it would only make sense that I do tend to play the game like this. I was a big Sonic fan way back in the day. I mean, I knew a lot of people that had a Genesis because, of course, it does what Nintendo don't. And, of course, if you had a Genesis, you pretty much were forced by law to have all of the Sonic games. Mostly I remember playing Sonic 2. Then I would also always have somebody else beat the boss of Chemical Plant Zone because I was a tiny, tiny child at the time. And I was very bad at not jumping immediately into the, well, chemicals. Still a really great game. And I haven't really played too much for more modern Sonic games. It's just really the classic Genesis ones. Although I have played Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 because they did come out on GameCube. And I do think that of the 3D ones, those tend to be kind of the better ones out there. Mostly because they were still sort of in an experimental, weird sort of phase, and they were willing to do pretty much anything to try to figure out what they wanted to do with the franchise. I mean, that's been true for... Oh, I could have actually taken that instead of the second Tornado. I think that's also a good option. Many small hits like I like. And I really don't need any more healing just yet. Yeah, I don't know. And of course, I still have a lot of appreciation for Sonic even today. In fact, it's kind of still surprising that I haven't ended up playing the Sonic Mania, especially because I might not like the actual gameplay of Sonic CD. I think the whole like time switching mechanic and everything was kind of the soundtrack of which that game borrows from a lot is still absolutely fantastic. And it has that same sort of feeling to it. I mean, hell, even in some of the old videos that I put up on the channel here, I was using like the newly released Studiopolis Zone Act 1 song that was there for a little bit of filler music, which I used to do back in the day. Don't do that anymore. Don't need to. Because I don't die in runs. Okay. Nah. Sonic CD, I think, was overall, like, okay. But it was also... the old Sonic games did have a little bit of a... issue with how they do... How do I even want to describe this? Basically, as much as I do like them, and they were very fun at the time, especially because the levels were so huge and expansive that it always felt like you were playing a different game every single time that you were going through them. They did also feel very samey, and it was an experience that felt like it was so quick more often than not because they didn't really because the gameplay loop was so simple for the Sonic games. So, you know, Sonic 1, 2, and 3 were all pretty good, but by the time CD came out, it sort of felt like you know, we get it. Oh, 9 seconds? Damn. You know, it's sort of like, yeah, we get it. Do something different, which is, I think, where the whole, where my whole like of Sonic Adventure comes from. Where not only did they do something different, they had, like, you know, Knuckles searching around for the mini Chaos Emerald pieces, or Master Emerald pieces. They had, like, a fishing mini game. Casino Night Zone sort of pinball nonsense. There's a lot of different stuff, and then they took what they learned there, and they ended up making Sonic 2, which was kind of a distillation of a lot of the disparate mechanics that you found in the first Sonic Adventure, as well as like a new version of the Chow Garden that was very, very good, even to this day. And then they got kind of weird, what with the introduction of wisps and everything that happened with Sonic 06. Sure, there was still a lot of good stuff to be had, but it was starting to feel like, you're losing it again. Even like Shadow the Hedgehog is one of my favorite Sonic characters, just because he is like what people thought of Sonic as. He is just like the perfect approximation of a Sonic OC made into a real character. There we go. There's that whole grouping together enemies. While also being his own thing. He's a really fun dude, despite how hokey and ridiculous he seems on the surface. He is the hedgehog with attitude that people always wanted to believe that Sonic was, but never really bore out in the games. I mean, most Sonic was just he would wag his finger at you from the start screen, and it's like, that's not, you know, it's not as bodacious attitude filled as I was expecting. Oh right, these guys, even if they do have the crystals, they do still, oh, that's a spicy meatball. Yeah, that was one spicy meatball. Time for a potion charge. I for some reason I thought that I was going to take him out quicker. I mean, you know how it is. Maybe a little bit overconfident? I wouldn't say that, but certainly not underconfident. Anyway, let's get back to like talking about Ninja Gaiden earlier. We got on a pretty big Sonic tear there, didn't we? It's a series that is really near and dear to my heart, which is why I was totally open to start talking about it for the Sonic-based run after somebody told me to do that in one of the streams. The Sonic-based run. No, this is not the Sonic-based run. I gotta turn off the... I have to turn off... I will actually take this. I have to turn off the curse warning in the menu, which I'm actually going to do right now. That's right. We're getting some hot gameplay. We're getting some hot gameplay menu stuff. For example, here's where you find the display number of enemies killed without being hit. That's right. It's right here. I've had a lot of people ask about that. Get rid of that and also show that and skip the cutscenes. There we go. Random skins will be turned on next time. For right now, I just wanted to keep the Hyper Light Drifter one, since it felt appropriate. Right. I forgot about that. Yep, this'll work. That'll do. That'll do, pig. Okay. That was... I kind of forgot that I did that. Like that. Oh my god. I was really worried there that I was going to get comboed once again like I did with the other guy. But hey, that's the last curse chest in the entire game, which means that I should be free to play as badly as I want from here on out. Yeah, that's how I see these runs. Okay, okay. It's all looking pretty good. And then the idea here is that when I do, probably instead of... I don't actually know what I'm going to be taking right now, because I want to get Masochism on for the next area. I want to get the... There we go. I want to get Masochism on for the next area. I want to get Disengagement, but it's like, I guess maybe replace double damage and then kind of leave it at that. As right now, though, it's looking pretty good stat-wise, which is what I was hoping for. Oh, God. Shield Bearer is... It's doing it to me. It's doing it. Ruining the run. Okay, well... I mean, you know, here's the thing. Only one potion is going to be, like, used in any way when it comes to the next few areas. So I might I don't feel too bad about using potions right now. Because only the one when I get disengagemented is going to be really useful. And even then I might be able to use the Spite Sword to try to rally up most of the health. Oh, I do also have the... Yeah, don't forget about the chunk of watermelon. I left that for this explicit purpose, which, yeah, goes to show you where my mind's at. Is it on that spiny blue hedgehog? Oh, yes, it is. I'm not going to see the Sonic movie, by the way. Just straight up. It looks terrible. Like, oh, yeah, they fixed the design. Good. They did, like, the one thing that they should have done in the first place. It still looks... like it's going to be 99% Jim Carrey improv, and I'll level with you. I don't actually like Jim Carrey. But so, it's not for me in any way. Aside from that, it looks like a weird retread of that Hop movie, because it's got like a... Yeah. Got like, Cyclops in there. He was in that movie too, right? Alright, alright. getting hit an awful lot in this area. Oh, well, that's why I got all those coupons. I'll be spending right now. Frankly, I'm gonna say, it's fine. My catchphrase. And aside from that, yeah, I think this is about as much as I'm gonna get out of this area. So we're gonna go into the big mistake boss fight, otherwise known as the Giant, and God, I hope I don't die there. No 60 kills, however, oh God, they're so expensive. 100% on poisoned? Really? None of them. None of them 100% on poison. You had one job, game. Well, what am I currently looking at? I got 175 versus like 225. I think the choice is clear. Which is unfortunate, but maybe I'll still be able to get enough money to also re-roll at least one time? What a terrible result that I found for myself. I managed to get poison, and I'm completely unable to actually take advantage of it. Ah, well. That's how that cookie crumbles, as you know. Well, let's check the other shop. That might also be a weapon shop as well. And then maybe it can be a little bit more friendly to me. Nope. It is absolutely not any more friendly to me. Giant's Whistle, which I guess would be appropriate for the fight, but also not very good against the Giant. Man, there's just nothing doing here, is there? Okay, well, this is the point in time where I'm going to go hit up the various cell doors. Normally, I don't really care too much about those, but I just need a slight little boost in my my bank account right now to be able to afford one of those fresh new. Or we'll just do that. That works too. Afford one of those fresh new weapons, but no, we're instead going to go with the turret because I was talking a lot about trying to replace that, and when I get that sort of thing dropped into my hands with absolutely no effort expended, who am I to turn it down? Well, there's the whole fungible increasing things that I was talking about, in the sense that I'm definitely not going to be taking any one of those items. As well as elites, which will be very useful for extra cash, too. Yep. Still not enough. Maybe I should go for the 60 kills here. As much as I don't really want to, you know, spend too much time in this area, I don't know if I have too much of a choice. I'm so close. Because I just need something here. The game's got to work with me even just a little bit. And there should be like 20 more enemies around here, right? I can probably find that. Yeah, well, strap yourself in because it's going to get real boring right now. To which I apologize, but I also say please understand. Oh. Well, that was pretty funny at least. Not, you know, at my expense, but okay, fine. I'll take whatever right now, dog. I need something. Oof. Well, let's do this. I haven't re-rolled my... Well, let's just say this. God, I hope I haven't re-rolled my mutations. I don't think I did, but if I did, there's going to be some real problems going up here. I suppose we'll see soon enough. Well, first off, before I start messing around... Okay, good. Before I start messing around with that, let's do this first. So I was saying that definitely absolutely essential is going to be disengagement, masochist to deal with the crystals, and then double ammo would be one. Networking would probably work out pretty well. 75% damage, and that's a lot of extra stuff here. I guess I'm going to go with that for right now, but I might end up switching it out soon. Damn. I mean, inflammable oil and everything is pretty good. Oh, wait, no, I didn't get the one that does burning. Never mind then. I've got so many good things, but I've been very cash poor this entire run, which is unfortunate. Oh well, I still feel pretty good about this. About this fight. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, apparently I didn't realize that damage over time, like poison, also worked on. That's what I wanted. What's gonna happen? Okay. I didn't realize damage over time worked with networking. Evidently does. Yeah, and here you can see hitting both of those dudes at once. And this might... Oh. Or I'll run out of... Of course. If you'll excuse me. My fine fellow. Might actually be worth taking a hit from the... Might actually be worth taking a hit from one of the crystals just for the extra damage. Yeah. Okay. All right, that'll work out well for me. Ah, get back up on there. There we go. Okay, well, not the best, but I guess I'll take what I can get. Oh boy. Ooh boy. Well, what am I even doing? I don't want that. Let's just jump directly into the final boss, and I'm gonna call it an episode because it's not looking great. Mostly just kind of... I mean, I'll at least get to 31, which will be nice, but yeah, as it turns out, the real problem there was running out of arrows rather than like anything with networking. It's nice to know that networking damage over time does work like that, but yeah. Okay, that's nice at least. That's going to help out a lot for getting extra damage. I might also want to wait out getting... Oh, disengagement, and just came back right back up right now. Okay. Man, I don't know what to make of this fight. Disengagement being up is going to be the thing that saves me, if anything. Okay. Okay, and there's where disengagement comes in. Yeah. Oh, man. There was no way that was going to happen.